Another day in the USA, just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just want to make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Victory, victory, gold on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, victory, zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory, victory, ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my headstone. Here lies young getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already live. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They'll run. This is Brown. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now the rookie from Tennessee, John Kelly. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 12 yards is the pickup there. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
This is Brown on the carry. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Gone. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pre. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Weatherspoon. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And Gresham has it left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Christian Kirk with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Dawson tacks on the point after, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On the carry is Kelly. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it here with Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Now gone. And got a man. It's Woods. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Goff on first down. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 3rd down, Kelly. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? It's like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately that didn't work for them.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the deep...
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Ndamukong Suh in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd and 10, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Woods, the intended receiver.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
First down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Johnson. Oh, now he throws it over. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll throw it with Rosen. And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now it's Rosen. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now it's Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A final shot before break here. Gone. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you outdoor an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. On play action, Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Johnson on the counter. And some space here. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
That was an example. Excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now Rosen looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. This one's complete to Gresham. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw is Rosen. And Nelson's got it here right side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Good defense holds them to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go.
Goff now looks to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. He can run for it. Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. They go play action here on 1st down. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Woods. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. In a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Corey Peters breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Gone. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Rams on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Gone. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Gone. That is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Back to the air. Goff on second down. Over the middle. That's hauled in by Kupp. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch. But you know they love...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And some room to roam now. He's got daylight. The 20. 10, touchdown, Cardinals. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cardinals will extend their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with, and they say challenge him.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is incomplete.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and now he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
It's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Play action here with Rosen. He's going to air one out. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cardinals turning that interception into a touchdown. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And now it's Rosen looking. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's taken down inside the 30. 18 yards there and a first down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Johnson. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Here we go now.
Oh, Rosen's going to throw it. This will be caught at about the 6. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Rams have got it back.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out here with a win.
Yeah, they got the 2-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? That's how they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie. But this one wasn't sleeping. It was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you got the lead. You may have ignited them now. They stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is gone. And an alley to run. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Forced out to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop, and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no, but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his flow. Bust off like a. Welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen. I was by the stove. Big inside this cases once. Do me dirty, I'ma find you lay out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone. He said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down. Soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling.